What's up? Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Pownell Select Board Meeting, November 13th, 2025 at 6:02 PM. Sorry for the delay, but our one laptop is updating itself, so I'm gonna switch. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call. Carl Strohmeyer,
Jeannie Alexander.
Mike Gardner,
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris.
rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Well, the agenda, we had some additions.
Yes, two, I think.
Was there one or two?
It's the coat drive.
Okay.
So we had a discussion about a coat drive.
I asked minutes from the special meeting that we did.
Yeah, that's why I thought there was two other. That's what I'm looking for.
There was minutes that didn't get approved.
You remember the date on the hand without having to look for it? October 27th. Well, that was the Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I screwed up on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we have to add minutes for an October 27th special meeting.
Yep.
And we want to add discussion about a coat drive. Where do we want to add the coat drive?
Your public comment or?
We could do it like. Maybe right before the year-end select board meeting schedule.
13A?
Yeah,
Perfect. And the minutes will just be added after the minutes of October 23rd. Public hearing. Approve the agenda with the additions.
So move. Second.
A motion and a second, all those in favor? Open it up for public comment.
Excuse me.
What's that?
No one's like online.
Have any public comment in the room? Okay. Approval of minutes, October 23rd, 2025 select board meeting.
So moved.
second.
A motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes of October 23rd, select board public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Stayed.
Minutes of October 27th. It was a special meeting. Have a motion,
So moved.
Second.
a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Did we have? Seems like we had some minutes that we couldn't approve because we didn't have a quorum.
That's right.
That was back
I
in.
thought we brought them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, but
Meeting on the 23rd.
But I still thought we
23rd,
couldn't
yeah.
approve because we still didn't have a quorum.
Oh,
I wasn't at that
Minutes to
meeting.
see what was tabled.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure there is a meeting. There were two meetings in a row that we didn't have a quorum of members that were present, and I believe it was September
It was a September meeting. It was
the 11th.
September the 11th. I was thinking it was nine.
yeah.
Because you and I,
Mhm.
okay, I think that's out there still, and I just want to make sure. We take care of that. Oh, warrants, sorry, just,
Mm-hmm.
accounts payable, October 31st, $32,441.48.
So moved.
second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable November 7th, $39,818.56.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable November 14th, $4,883,018.41.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Just so everyone's aware, we say it every year. It's our ballot articles and different things. to do.
Okay.
School tax, mostly, didn't been paid off. Have a motion, have a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, October 31st, $11,492.28.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, November 7th, $13,536.55.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, November 14th, $16,809.85.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have Dara Zink of the BCRC with a hazard mitigation plan presentation.
I don't know, how do you normally do it? Do you want to stay here?
Or we're gonna come
Come
up here. Yeah.
We can do this however
No.
is best for you. Okay. Hannah's gonna pull up. I just have a brief presentation to go over. While Hannah's pulling that up, actually, I do have to do the plug for the Regional Select Board meetup that's happening. Take one, I guess, and pass it on. If you would like to do that, meet up with other select boards in the area. We just ask that you register in advance so that we can be prepared for you.
Well, while you're talking about it, while you brought that up, there we can meet there as a group
Mhm.
because we're not discussing town business, so we would not be violating an open meeting. Okay, I just want to make sure that everyone gets clear. We could all go there to, however. We could all be- Sorry.
You're okay. That was great information. And we're just about ready to rock and roll. So do you want me to beep at you, Hannah, like the old kids' books when you turn the page, or just want me to say next? Okay. So, are you able to share the actual slide? Maybe. Oh, where'd it go? There, well, there's part of him. Oh, he's coming. Okay, so I'm Dara Zink. I'm from Bennington County Regional Commission. I am the Emergency Management Program Manager. So I work on towns with their local emergency management plans usually. I act as the local liaison between your EMD, Craig, and the state during an emergency. And I also work on the hazard mitigation plans for towns. So I'm just here to talk to you guys about hazard mitigation planning, what that looks like, and why we do it. So avoiding mayhem through hazard mitigation planning. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he's one of my favorites. Go ahead. So mitigation falls right in the center of FEMA's emergency management cycle. Mitigation can take place at any point during the response, recovery, and preparedness stages. It focuses largely on building or rebuilding in ways that reduce risk permanently. And hazard mitigation planning is risk-informed decision-making that takes place generally during the preparedness phase. But we can also mitigate as soon as we respond and during the recovery phase as well. Go ahead, Hannah. Thank you. Hazard mitigation plans allow the towns to reflect on the hazards that have the greatest impact on the town and create an action plan to help the town prepare for and lessen the impacts of those hazard events even before they happen. These plans can help to protect life and safety of residents, build resilience, and ultimately save money. I'm not going to read every one of those to you because you'll be sleeping by the time we're done. So go ahead, Hannah. Most importantly, mitigation, well, not most importantly, right? Life and safety is most important. But importantly, mitigation can save up to $13 for each dollar invested, and federal grant funding alone is 6 to 1. So go ahead, Hannah. All right, so who's familiar with the Emergency Relief and Assistance Fund? I've got lots of head nodding. Great, because I've been to a lot of towns and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I'm really glad. So I'll just do a brief overview. Just a reminder, at a base level, federal reimbursement through FEMA comes in after disaster, and for eligible damages will reimburse 75% typically. And I should preface this to say under current standards. right? Things are changing, things are a little squishy. So this is under current guidelines and standards. The state then, through this Emergency Relief and Assistance Fund, which I'll refer to as ERAF, the state comes in at a base level and covers 7.5%. And then the town is responsible for that remaining 17.5, right? Okay, so go ahead. The town can increase that state's reimbursement. So if you check off these four things, the national, joining the National Flood Insurance Program, the adopting town road and bridge standards, doing your annual local emergency management plan, and adopting a local hazard mitigation plan, you're then eligible for an additional up to receive, 12.5% reimbursement as opposed to that base 7.5. And then we continue. If you take one more step and you protect your river corridors, you're then eligible for a 17.5% reimbursement, and that's the max in this case. Any questions about ERAF? Okay. So let's talk about where Pownell currently stands. So this report is available online at Flood Ready Vermont. If you want, Hannah can share, or she has shared the PowerPoint with you potentially. Shared it. Okay. So you have access to this. If you click the community reports down on the bottom, it'll take you where you can find all of this information. So right now, Pownell is at that base 7.5%. If you updated your hazard mitigation plan, that would get you to the 12.5. And then if you were to do the additional river corridors, that would get you to the max 17.5. So if you just click next.
Quick question.
Yes, pop in anytime.
Okay, the river corridors, for example.
Right.
More specifically, what does that look like? And are there variations?
There are variations. There are variations, and bylaws can get complicated, and so I'm not going to dive into them tonight. I'm actually working through that process with another town and kind of learning as we go. And and the river corridors, I just want to be specific. They are encouraged by the state. This is the carrot, this ERAF rate, the 17.5, but it's not a requirement for your NFIP participation. So there's a couple of things happening right now within the state where we have to update towns' bylaws just to meet more stringent NFIP standards. That's happening right now as our flood maps are occurring. And then if towns want to do the river corridor to meet that ERAF rate right now, right, that's a possibility. But then we're looking forward down the line where the state is investigating taking over the permitting within the river corridors, and what that's going to look like, I'm not clear yet.
More.
As in permitting, as in zoning permitting?
I don't have much more information than that the state is looking into river corridors and getting more involved with those.
So you don't have.
But that's not till 2028.
Right, so you don't have additional information about what they would require. For example, do they want us to create swells? Are we talking about erosion issues? Like,
No, zoning. So it would be within your zoning bylaws. So like, you don't allow new building within the SFHA,
Okay.
that type of stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand what you were asking. My apologies.
that's helpful.
All good. So making it happen, right? So right now, we all know that the state the government's coming out of its shutdown. FEMA canceled the BRIC program, which was previously used to fund hazard mitigation plans in the past. So that's what the state would use, and then the municipalities would be sub-applicants in that case. So we lost that funding at the beginning of the year. And so Vermont Emergency Management, VEM, has kind of been scrambling in the interim to find where can we find that money for our municipalities in order to fund the creation of these plans. So right now, an email had gone out, Tara, I don't know if you saw it, that specific towns have been entered into an application to FEMA for disaster relief funding. So the DR 4720, are you guys familiar with? I'm going to throw a lot of numbers at you. So the 2023 floods created this bucket of money for Vermont And that's called DR 4720. So it's related, that DR 4720 is the disaster declaration number for the 2023 floods. DR 4810 are that bucket of funds that came to us because of the 2024 floods. And Pownell has been written into the application by the state for those 4720 funds. So the state is working on getting that application to FEMA, and then hopefully they will approve the funding for us to use those funds for hazard mitigation plans. Pownell is one of those towns that has been included there. An email went out that was like, if you don't want it, let us know. If you do, don't do anything. So I kind of like that they choose an opt-out version. And then, of course, if you choose down the road, you're like, we don't want to do a hazard mitigation plan for whatever reason, no negative impacts. We just let the state know and they can reallocate funding that way. So what it looks like, it's been a long time since Pownell has done a hazard mitigation plan. You know, and I'm assuming that's for multiple reasons. But, you know, we would love to see all of our towns at least get that 12.5% in case something does happen. You know, bridges that wash out can cost a lot of money, you know, and get you guys the higher rate so that you're not left holding the bag for more money than you need to.
So my question to you is, in writing these hazard mitigation plans,
Mhm.
where does that responsibility fall? Does it fall to the select board?
Yes,
Please.
just you.
Just the select?
No, I'm totally.
Do my.
No, so that's something that the town can contract out for. You would just write an RFP and BCRC would most likely respond. And then, you know, you might get other respondents from around the area and you guys would go through your process with that to choose a contractor who would walk a group of, usually it's like a member of the select board and a planning committee member. And then, you know, we would ask Craig to be involved as the EMD and, you know, we would have a group from the community that could join and offer input. And then you have to do, you know, you have to get information from the public. So be that in a survey or public meetings, you know, you have people come in and talk about, you know, what they see in the community. And then, you know, the plan is drafted usually by the contractor with the assistance of the group.
Okay, because we have the Hoosic River,
The tactical basin plan, yep.
right? So I guess where I was going with that is there's a bunch of people that spend a lot of time there, so I didn't want those people, if they wanted at least a member from their group,
Yes.
be excluded.
No, they would not be. They would absolutely be a very important stakeholder in this process because they would be very knowledgeable about
Right.
basin.
Or, you know, at least if they wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
Question on
We don't force people.
when can you go one step, then the next step or the next step? Or do you have to do the, whatever you decide to do all at once?
Are you talking about the actions
The
that,
three actions you have to do, just asking on that. The one for the river corridor,
oh, no, you can do those.
those can be, you can.
Yeah.
One and then get to the next one.
Yeah.
That's all I want to.
No, you've got it. So if we go back, I'll even hand this out to you guys.
We're only short on two.
No, I understand that. I just was asking, that was all.
Mitigation plan in the river corridor.
River corridor. Actually, I thought we did a river corridor.
It looks like the mitigation plan, correct me if I'm wrong, is the one that's going to get us whether we.
To the 12.5. Yeah, so when you look at this, here's the interesting thing that the state did, is that those first 4 steps, even if you have river corridors, if you're missing one of those first 4 steps, you don't get an increased rate. You have to have all 4 of those steps, which includes that hazard.
We could have a river corridor, but we don't get it because we
Because,
don't have the other one.
yeah, you might not have adopted road standards, or you might not have adopted your
We
land.
have a river corridor.
Well, I don't know, but that's.
We can review that. So sometimes there are errors in this report from the state. So if you think that you have that, I can pull the bylaws and we can take a look.
I used to be, I remember, I think, I'm assuming, and I know what happens when you assume stuff. But
And we can double check that. We have found issues previously that were not updated here.
Okay.
I'm more than happy to take a look at that if you think that that might not be correct.
Doesn't hurt to look.
Does not hurt to look. Does not hurt to look. So yeah, I can go and pull the bylaws and we can take a look at them. But that hazard mitigation plan is what's really holding you back in this case. And so, we want to get that process moving. So what that means is that we have to wait for the state to say, yes, we have funds. There's always the possibility of the town, a group taking it on themselves. FEMA has very strict standards. So you would just have to make sure that you're checking all of the boxes within that plan. If you wanted to attempt it, if you want to do it yourselves, if you feel you have really knowledgeable people here in town that could undertake that, totally acceptable. And VEM does the review of it and they communicate. Ooh, we lost everybody.
You'll come back.
Okay. And so, and they communicate with whoever submitted the plan to say, hey, this section has been missed. And they do like a temporary approval on behalf of FEMA, and then FEMA comes through and says, yes, you guys nailed it. So.
Do you have an estimated cost for what the plans usually?
So BCRC is usually around 12 to 15,000 to do the plan. The town can pay that out of town funds if, that's what you choose to do. You don't want to wait to find out what's happening with the FEMA funding coming down. That's an option as well. Just because we're in the holding pattern, waiting for that, response from FEMA for those funds.
We recently had a request denied, not emergency funds. I think the governor made a request recently.
Oh, right.
It was just denied, so.
Yeah, the emergency fund. So, but these funds are associated with that bucket of money that's attached to the previous disasters. So it's a little bit different of a ballgame with those funds. Not to say that there's 100% chance this will be approved and we'll get the funding, but VEM is actively working to get these. So I just wanted to present it to you. So should VEM say, hey, yay, these funds are available, if Pownell would like to move forward, we've talked about it already. You guys can just say, yes, we want to move forward. I can help supply you with an RFP template to draft up if you want to move forward that way. So you can get that moving right away, and then we're not wasting any time, because the process does take, if we're really cruising along, we've got a really good group that's super focused and driven, it can take a year. At a more leisurely pace, it's like 18 months to work through the process with the public outreach and the development of the plan itself. Any other questions? Okay.
Did you send that template to
Yeah,
just so that we have it on, so we can go ahead and start taking a look at that?
absolutely.
I don't know how the rest of the board feels, but I think doing this hazard mitigation plan is nothing but beneficial if we do have a disaster.
Yeah.
There's some.
Yes, it definitely is.
Strongly agree.
7.5 to 12.5, 5% could potentially be a lot of money, especially when we're talking some bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Never so, right? So, I know that we can't, or don't need to make a decision tonight, not that we can't or shouldn't.
I never have to
We
use
don't need to
it.
make a decision tonight, but I think it's a great idea, send that.
Okay.
Put down, we can have something ready to go if we have a go ahead from the BCRC.
Yep, once we hear from the state, we can say, release the RFP. And then, that plan is going to create a list of mitigation actions item in there to help the town kind of stay focused on the mitigation projects. And then when grants come up, you guys can say, oh, look,
Right.
we have community support for this. Let's try to get funding. And it's backed by that plan too. So it also helps in that way as well. So if you do have any projects related to mitigation that need to be done, it kind of gives that a little bit of backbone when you go through the grant process for those. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Tara, I have notes to send you that, and I'll review those bylaws and we'll take a look. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Updates from town officials.
Okay, I do have a couple. So from Joel, I think he sent this all to you as well, but I believe it was an update from him. Just a quick note, as you all know, no one applied for the per diem plowing position. So I got a person who's willing to do it this year. His name is Kenny George. He is reliable, holds a CDL, and will be a good fit. If you all agree, we'll move forward with it. He recommends paying him 20 because he can utilize the bigger trucks also. I don't know if the board wants to
Great, we need someone.
work on that. I'll just,
You wanna vote on that as a board?
Does that require, I mean, I'm just, my question is, does it require board vote? We did discuss it and we did tell Joel to move ahead to find some, or to hire someone to do this. We need to vote on it, that's fine, but
Let's just dot our i's or cross our t's.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the hire.
I'll second that motion.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
he goes on to say, our new truck is ready and we will probably pick it up sometime next week. At that time, I would like to put the truck we are replacing up for sale. Either privately or up for auction, probably the latter if it's okay with you. We'll keep the 2012. Four-wheel drive for a spare. I ended up going with Morton Salt for $82.70 per ton, about $10 per ton cheaper than my last lowest bid. Last year's price was $77.65. Any questions, feel free to ask. Joel?
Just.
Question?
Go ahead.
Is that what we've done in the past, if we would be to auction off, for example, like the truck that we're getting rid of, is that normal?
Legally, we have to auction that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a style of auction. It's like put it out to bid or advertise that it's for sale.
Okay,
I think Joel usually uses auctions international.
Yeah.
Okay.
Puts it.
yeah, no, that sounds great, I was just curious.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a legal requirement.
Just for a FYI on salt. I think Joel was figuring out about 800 ton. He has about 100 ton over there still from last year. So, which obviously means we need to purchase about 700 at $5 a ton difference versus last year. So the numbers that we thought we were gonna have to deal with at 90 something to $100 a ton versus last year, we're way underneath that, so, which is good news.
Yes.
It's not a significant amount of money versus what we thought we were gonna have to pay for salt, so good job, Joel, finding the best price for us, for the town. Just wanted to bring that up, because a conversation we had yesterday.
Next announcement is from Jen Boucher. She asked that I share the 6th annual Powell Holiday Tree Lighting will be Saturday, December 6th. And it starts at 4 with the Powell Elementary School chorus. I believe this building will be open. We'll have hot cocoa and s'mores. There's usually like face painting and sing along and other activities happening. Lastly, just an update from Priscilla, our E911 coordinator. She's just sort of updating the board, more emails, phone calls happening at different addresses. The hearing that was held on October 23rd was successful. He renamed it or named a new road, private road to Harvest Trail off of South Stream. She's had discussions with the road foreman on correcting road signs, and that was completed. And then the ongoing project that she mentioned before, working with the Lister's office on identifying homes that have lead or asbestos. And that is it for updates for me.
Okay. Old Town Hall continued discussion and possible action.
So, it's gonna jump in. So I do wanna thank Tara, who helped, who sent us basically a timeline, the board a timeline to help remind us of where we've been with this. It's incredibly helpful, and to seek further direction from the board. And I don't know about the other fellow board members here. But I know that I have certainly received a number of calls and texts and requests like, when are you guys going to put together this committee that you talked about? So you've talked about it in probably 3 select board meetings at this point. having a committee that is open to anyone who lives in Powell. We don't really need to know what someone in Bennington wants to do, like, but anyone who lives in Powell. And to set times and days for this committee to meet. And a specific charge for it, like, just like we did, I mean, this would be a temporary committee, but I'm thinking about like the Conservation Commission. Right, the select board was really good with coming up a very specific charge. This is what you are to do. Like, do the research, investigate, come back to the select board with your proposals for the old town hall that we can consider. And I know that we also have litigation going right now, talking about the, the ownership of that is even in question. And so I think that we cannot move forward on things like feasibility studies, things that we're going to spend money on potentially until we've worked through this litigation. So we may have an opinion about how that's going to go, or may have a hope about how that litigation works out. But until we know, I personally think I'd like to be prudent financially, but it costs us nothing to move ahead with what we've told people we would do, and that is a committee to come together. So I would propose that we open it up for 2 weeks for anyone who wants to be on this committee to email town office. Let Tara know, like, name, address, where you live, that sort of thing. So we know that you're in Pownell, and just say that you'd like to be on the committee. Like, I also would like to avoid any sort of concerns or accusations that, oh, you're only letting people on the committee who want to do X, Y, or Z for the old town hall. So I personally don't think we need to know what anyone's position is prior to that committee meeting, just that you live in Pownell and want to be on it. So if you could just keep it neat, and direct that you want to be on it. And then I think after 2 weeks, we have the people who want to be on that committee. Then I think as a select board, we could set a number of days for them to meet. Like if it was 6 meetings, like every other week or whatever, like a timeline, a day of the week that doesn't like conflict with other town meetings that are happening. And then set a charge for them. I just feel like a lot of work has been put into this. A lot of time has been spent on this. I don't think that Tara should be charged with like organizing this. Things happen forever. I think we have a committee that takes care of it. That's my proposal.
I have an issue. We still have pending litigation. And I said before that I think we should wait for the pending litigation to be done before we decide to do anything. But that's just me.
Well, I don't think we can decide, right? To your point, I don't think we can decide what to do, but I do think it could be helpful. If there are people who are interested, who want to meet to discuss it, who could come back to the select board with a proposal, not that we can act on it, but so we have something ready at the end of that litigation.
But
We have to
that's my opinion.
Okay.
So, and I know everybody else has other opinions.
I don't think it hurts to have a conversation,
No,
and having a committee to start a conversation is a good thing. And that way we can get ideas out there and maybe have a little teeth for when the litigation's over.
For clarification, I thought there was litigation with the church. There's
It's the
litigation.
entire,
it's the whole property.
the whole property. So, I'm gonna jump in, obviously. I think we should move forward with the committee because we've said we're going to. And we've said it multiple times. Right, and we put it off and put it off and put it off, and it should have been done by now, for whatever reason. I do think we need to put the brakes on a little bit, as Carl said, because we don't really know. We've got opinions, but it's in a court's hands on who owns the property. Okay, all of it, basically. So until a judge decides that, I think we need to put the brakes on a little bit for sure and not spend any more money on it, because time is money. And I know Tara's put an incredible amount of work in there, and it's been great work. And It's stuff that really needs to be done anyway. So it's not wasted money. It's money that, it's time that needed to be spent. Okay? So it's not like we wasted any money, but let's back up a minute. Let's form our committee to go back to Jeannie's suggestion here. I think residents, a very simple email. It should be name, where you live, contact information. And it should go to at least 2 people. It should go to the executive assistant for one, and then we can pick somebody here. It can be any board member. It can be however we want to do it.
It's not necessary because I'm gonna forward it to the board anyways.
You could just pick a board member.
It's not.
I was trying not to give the appearance to the public that I am somehow doing something wrong.
I know that.
And then they can trust to send it to me. I'm not going to hold it or hide it or do anything.
I know that. All the board.
Making that statement makes it seem like I might.
That's not my intention.
I
That is
just.
not it at all, Tara.
Take
It's the exact opposite of that. My intention is 100% the other side of that. If we do it this way, then absolutely no one can accuse anybody of doing something wrong.
Right.
It's exactly right. Nobody can say, I sent an email to Tara and she didn't forward it on to anybody. Nope, you sent an email to Tara and Jeannie and neither one of them got it. Or whoever, and I just use
Yeah,
you.
no, that's fine.
You can put me on, I don't care.
I think the chairman should be on.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
I don't have a problem.
And I just, because I think there is the potential for that happen. And that's one reason that I think we will not accept, this my opinion, okay, this is a board can do what you want, right, we're a board. We will not accept a paper application that gets dropped off here at the town office or mailed in. We just will not accept it. It's going to be an electronic application to be on that committee. So that full transparency, you want to be on it, here's the guidelines, this is how you do it. And if you don't do it that way and you come in here on the day after the thing closed and you want to be on it, too bad. You've had 2 weeks, this is how it is. Well, I was sorry, it's closed.
We'll post that and we'll make that very clear.
Those are just some thoughts that I wrote down when you were talking for sure.
When it's advertised,
Mhm.
can you set the charge now so that when it's advertised, or is that something you want to discuss? Because when I advertise it, what do I say? Join the committee to do what?
Join the committee. I think what we would say.
But if we're setting the committee, shouldn't we kind of have say on the charge?
Right, no, that's what you're saying.
That's what I'm
Just
saying.
ask
I don't
them
want
to charge.
Right, I don't want to
Correct. So I think
advertise in the wrong
what
way.
we're advertising is that we are creating a committee to research and discuss desired options in the future for the old town hall and the feasibility for any future action regarding that town hall. And if you're on this committee, you will be expected to meet. I'm just saying this, we can change it every other week. Let's start with 6 meetings. The individuals on that committee will be expected to do some research. So if they have an option that they're interested in, that they want to present to the rest of the committee and discuss, I would suggest you present some facts with it. Present some economic facts with it, just like what it is you want done. And after that board researches and meets 6 times, then they should come back to the select board with a proposal. It would be ideal if they could reach an agreement, but if they have to come back with several proposals, that's fine. And I don't think the select board is bound by those proposals, but that way we have a committee of residents who have met, who've discussed, and then bring us something. That's my proposal.
I want to expand back up 1 second because I forgot this and I meant to say this. In the letter of application, I absolutely do not want anyone to express their feelings one way or the other in that letter. Oh, well, I want to be on there because I want to sell it or whatever. I want very simple name, address, contact information, and go from there. It's a really simple thing.
I think that's a good one.
I'm interested.
Just important to note that because it's an appointed committee, they will be subject to open meeting law. So I will reach out to Kate to see what days she's available because she will need to run the
Schedule
meeting.
that.
Yep,
But also, we just need to look into like, how is the meeting going to run? I think you were gonna participate in the committee.
we were gonna select somebody from the select board to just sort of help chair that committee,
Yeah,
organize it.
yeah,
And there will be, and that person will be responsible for attending the meetings
Okay.
and making sure that they're meeting on time and making sure attendance is taken, so we know who does show up and who does, like, we'll need someone for notes.
because there
right?
is that legal piece of it that we. have to
Exactly.
make sure we're-
Yeah, but we have to make sure we're complying with the open meeting laws.
But I think keeping it simple, I think we set a 2-week period. And then it's not limited in any way, shape or form in numbers.
Yep.
It can be 5 people, it can be 50 people or whatever.
Will notice go out to the nonprofits in town?
What's that?
Will notice go out to the nonprofits in town?
It'll go up to everybody.
Okay, I just,
Yeah, because
I just said because that doesn't get forgot.
right,
Posted per
You
you.
don't say it, sometimes it gets forgotten.
and I think that's.
Madison, would it be a form on the website you fill in, or would the invitation go out and just send an email?
I think that,
Same.
I think what we can, when we post, we'll be very specific about what we require in the email, and then I think it's on the resident to send the email and please meet the requirements. I can really simple,
I can do either or though. We can do a form that goes to email or we can.
whatever is
Yeah.
easier for you, quite frankly.
I'll make it easy for you. I would think at this point, just looking at a calendar. 2 weeks is obviously the 27th of Thanksgiving. The next meeting after that would be the 11th. Would that be in time? Because we gotta figure out how to post it, right?
Yeah, I think if we open up, let's just say, post it starting on Monday, have it open for 2 weeks with an anticipation, because we're running right into the holidays.
Right,
Anticipation
right.
that the board doesn't start meeting until January.
I'm fine.
Yeah, well, then don't forget, we're.
Dragged it on. I'm trying to push it. I am very aware of the holidays, but I'm
Right.
trying to make sure that we get this thing done.
Yep.
Not give the appearance that we're pushing it off again,
No,
right? But
Agree.
I understand where you're coming from for sure, right? So if we came out on the 11th, which is a regular meeting, and just brought up, okay, here's our committee and here's our members.
December the 11th,
Yep, December the 11th.
sure. And then we can.
Is that enough time for you to get things set up and posted, Tara, to have a 2-week period? And I know we're in budget season 2, and I know that, and I wanna be.
yeah, that's what I was, well, sorry.
Yeah, we can try to like, because are you going to want to meet each member? That's what I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so you have the 2 weeks, get the emails, you don't want to meet them necessarily.
I don't
Just
think that we
meet
should,
them in the meeting.
I think we just look at their application and go from there.
as long as,
Yeah, that's
I think,
fine.
I think we close applications on,
December 1st, December 1st.
how about we close December 4th?
Yeah, give them,
That's right.
All right, because it will stay consistent with a Thursday,
Okay.
and then it gives us at least 3 days to verify that they're residents.
Yep.
I think that's an important piece here.
Yep.
Not that I'm saying that somebody's going to, but it gives us 3 days to verify that, yes, they are a resident of the town of Pownell. Yes, they can be on this committee. Yeah.
And so my email and Jeannie's, because she's gonna be on the committee, does that sound reasonable?
That's fine. That's
fine.
Okay.
Their name, their address.
It'll be posted, Jenny, but I think just the name,
Just-
address, contact information, obviously we're gonna have should have your email address being sent back, but just contact information.
And just a one sentence statement that you want to be on the committee.
Mhm. I would like to participate in the Old Town Hall Discussion Committee or whatever. Fairly simple. But, like I said, I absolutely don't want any feeling or thoughts or whatever in that email. I mean, that's just not Because, oh, we didn't put them on because, but you know, that's. And we're not gonna exclude anybody in. It'd be kind of crazy. Right, that.
Saying with the charge, you can even say, I mean, since you're in litigation, this is, should litigation go the way of the town? Then, you
Mhm.
know, and I mean, if litigation goes the way towards, we don't even, the town doesn't even own it. Then it just,
It's a moot point.
it's a moot point. But then you're not starting at the end of this litigation.
Right.
We have some ideas and plans in place for the litigation, you know, so speaking to Carl's concerns.
Yeah.
That should that litigation go the way of the town, then there's some potential plans in place already.
We've been through this once. That's my fear. That's my fear. We've already been through this once
Well, right.
with the litigation, Bob.
Do we have any more
I
discussion?
don't think their times.
I don't think we need to vote on this. I think
Okay.
we're fine.
Okay.
Great. So then we'll post this on the 17th on Monday?
Mhm.
Okay, great.
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay, wonderful.
Is there, do we need any more discussion on that?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you. Tour de panel event discussion and possible action.
Okay, so Emily sent a short write-up about this, but this sort of stemmed from quarterly meetings that I've been having with Emily at the Solomon Wright Public Library. In an effort to sort of not, in an effort to collaborate more often and on more things and just kind of keep each other informed. And she's been helping us with the sign that's by the fire department. Her or her volunteers have been changing the lettering and stuff out for us, so that's really helpful. But she had this wonderful idea. She said local organizations, including Solomon Wright Public Library, Hoosick River Watershed Association, the Bike Club, Parks and Rec Committee would like to revive the Tour de Pownell bike ride, which last happened in 2021. We see that the event would bring together the Pownell community as well as showcasing the town's natural beauty and resources to non-residents. Having the event sited at Center Street would bring attention to our beautiful town hall and new skate park. It also is a perfect spot for a walk and showcase the historical aspects of our town. We would like to ask permission to use the town hall parking lot, restrooms, and skate park for our event. Our tentative date is set for Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Currently, our point person is Emily Gould at the Solomon Wright Public Library. And I would be collaborating with them and it's be a nice community event that the town could help with if the board decides we can use it.
Sounds great. I'll make the motion that we accept it.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? I only have a couple of quick questions and they're not even really that big of a concern. So I'm definitely all for this, but would we need, sheriffs, to be present for any kind of traffic control? I just would like to make sure that if we need them, that we speak.
Would that be on them or us?
I don't know.
Say that you are for this or not?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah, all for it.
I think that would be on them, wouldn't it?
I think this is still in initial planning phase, so that we're not really sure yet.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
But if we do, I'll make sure.
Right.
Out. Mainly right now, we just want to make sure we can center it here, so that the younger children can use the bike. The skate park for their.
But I just want to make sure that somebody thinks of that.
Yep.
If we need some kind of, traffic control or whatever. I have a motion. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, fabulous.
Transfer station snow blower.
I sent
Discussion?
those quotes to you. 3 of them that Tom had found and he recommended the Husqvarna. Was $1,200.
He has the money in his equipment fund, so.
Yeah, he did.
What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to let Tom purchase a snow blower, the Husqvarna for the $1,200.
Second that motion.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We're at grant stormwater engineering permitting discussion.
So, as we're moving through the grant with the forest access, the Act 250 permitting, we thought would be pretty easy. It is not. Um, we got flagged basically as possibly needing stormwater permitting. But in order to find out if we do, we have to hire an engineer to evaluate do an analysis of the existing impervious surface of the gravel bed before the town purchased its parcel of land. From that time prior, all the way to the year like 2004. So we were given an estimate to do that analysis of 1,500. If that determines that we're beyond that impervious surface, this is way beyond my knowledge level. But if we're beyond that and we have to do the stormwater engineering, the permitting piece, that is gonna be an additional 6,000 to 9,000. We do, thank goodness, have the money in the VORIC grant still to cover this. We were informed by our engineer that we wouldn't need it. And he was even just as surprised as us that now we're dealing with this, so.
And that, I can speak a little bit on that through the zoning portion of it. Those are laws that have changed in the last couple of years, through the state. So it's an incredibly difficult thing now to subdivide certain pieces of property because of the stormwater runoff, and it's kind of a nightmare. Some engineers won't even touch it. So it's kind of this isn't something that we didn't plan for, that we forgot, that we missed. It's something that popped up. It's unfortunately after the purchase that now doing what you're doing, you have to do this, right?
We can't do the parking lot or the logging or any of the work.
Right, so we have to do this. We have to do this study. Have the engineer come in. There's, like I said, some engineers won't touch it. I've dealt with some people who are trying to subdivide property and engineers will not even. They don't want anything to do with it.
And this is,
Just don't.
John Wright of Mance Engineering, is the one that we've been working with.
Which makes total sense because he's the one that did the survey. They did all of the work down there. They're very familiar. They don't have to get acquainted with anything. They can just go in and do their work. So it's probably gonna save us money with something do different.
I'm just glad that we have the budget for it in the grant.
I am
that we've
too.
already got
Yeah.
that.
Hey,
Come on, Jay.
Do you need a motion?
Yes, for the grant purposes.
I'll make a motion that we have the work done.
I'll second that motion.
And that's the stormwater engineering and permitting, just.
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Just wanna make sure we're right.
That's fine. I don't want to say, I'd rather have it come from you, I'd rather have it come from your lips than mine, because I might say something wrong.
Yeah, I wanted clear in the minutes, that's all. I have a motion, I have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Coke Drive.
Drive. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring this to us. I don't even know that it needs a board vote. I think it probably should get one. But I mean, the reality is that there are a lot of children in our town. As far as I'm concerned, one is one too many, but we have kids in the town, we have adults, we have people who are struggling to keep warm in a lot of different ways. I know I personally probably have an extra coat or two that I don't need in my closet. And so I propose that we just run a coat and glove drive. Starting like whatever, Friday or Monday, like through like mid-December to come up with a date for that. And I know that the library already has like clothes, the library, there's free clothing there if you need access, like a clothing closet or something that would be helpful. The library may make sense as a place for coats to land. Like I am aware that there are different congregations and churches around who do something similar, but I think one, not everyone wants to go into a church for something. Some people just don't want to go. And two, if we had it at a town spot, everybody knows the library. Like everyone knows town hall. So if we could get approval from the library, if they're all in, and I suspect they would be, I think they would be, or in our back room. But if we could just encourage folks who want to donate or who want to give. They could bring new ones. It could be used ones in good shape to drop off to share with our neighbors. And I think that folks should be able to access that without questions asked. If, for example, if it were here, come in, say hi to Julie. I need a coat. I'm headed back to get a coat. Or drop them off. I don't want to create work for staff here. So if we could find a designated place, it would be great if it's just the library.
Great use for the old town hall. I know I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm going to.
It's
Heated. It's
Right.
perfect.
it's,
But that is a great idea. I think it's very useful for our town.
I think asking the library is a great idea. I think, you know, the library seems very cooperative and, you know, we've been working well together for the last 3 or 4 years or whatever it's been. I think there's also an option. I'm sure we could find someplace here that people could pop in. I'm looking at this room and I'm not so sure that that back corner, Tom, couldn't be used for some coats, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You know, there's a corner back. I mean, I don't foresee a tractor trailer load of coats being delivered anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, that'd be kind of nice,
It would
but
be nice, but
I see, you know, some. And I would hope it would be a fairly significant number of coats to be, you know, I know that I can go through my closet and I can grab
Right.
10 coats and drop them off, okay? So I think having a couple of spots, if we could collaborate with the library, it would be awesome. I think we could find a spot here in this building where during business hours, exactly like you said, they're not gonna, it's not Tara's responsibility, it's not Hannah's responsibility. We could put up some cardboard signs or paper signs that look kind of cool and say, coats this way, it's heated, they're inside, they can try them on, they can do whatever. They,
Will those be coats that will be accepted from individuals? Just thinking of logistics on that. I mean, it sounds great. Only worry I would have would be, you need to make sure that the coats are cleaned. I don't know how other, coat drives do it. I would have a concern with getting a coat that, well, had, some guests on it.
I hear what you're saying. We don't
Okay.
want bed bugs in town hall or anything else like that. Totally get you. I will say had some experience with running like clothes closets before. And generally, if you ask people, please bring like new or gently used, clean coats. That's what people are gonna bring. Like, and if someone were to bring something for some reason, it's just like, holy mackerel, what happened to this coat? Then we could dispose of it. But like, usually people, I think, are pretty good about.
As I say, I'm just saying the stuff that needs to be said sometimes.
I think it's a great idea. You know, I guess the worst case scenario is we're gonna have to bring a,
Exterminator in.
well, we're gonna, you know. I guess that is the worst case, Carl, but
You said the worst case, and that is the worst case.
it's a little worse than what I was thinking.
Okay.
What I was thinking is after you do a coat drive, December 31st or whatever, you have to take the remaining coats that you have and bring them somewhere to, right?
I will volunteer to.
But I'm just saying, that would be
Yep.
one of the worst things, right?
Well, that's not a problem. I mean, in reality, no.
Right.
There are plenty of places.
Because eventually they will be used for somebody.
Right, right, you know, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, we don't wanna leave a pile of coats over there all winter long.
Oh, no, no.
Right?
Well, that's why I think we have a cutoff date, right? To the end of the year, you need a coat, come by, and if we have leftover, I would be more than happy to take responsibility for finding an appropriate place in Pownell or at least Bennington County to donate those.
I deal with a lot of,
Or the school even, maybe they would like some extra Coats, do we have any left over?
Yeah, I deal with a lot of. I know in my job, that there's a lot of families that.
Could use those, so.
It's not just kids that could use
Correct.
coats. There's a lot of families that I see on a daily basis that can use some coats. So I think it's a great idea. I think we just gotta get that, and I think we have the logistics now, right? We can probably approach the library and say, hey, Emily, this is what we're trying to do. You know, there's
I'll pop in the morning.
a
and
significant population down there that.
Yeah,
Fairly close by.
Yep.
We also have a, you know, population here of adults that may need some coats. They don't live too far away as well, so. What's the board's pleasure?
guess we move forward. Make that a motion?
You have a motion and a second already on the table.
Well, then I guess we vote. All those, well, that's Mike's job. Mike
I
said,
did have a motion.
that's what Brian said.
Our motion, Jeannie seconded.
Yep.
He's on the ball over there.
I made it, I forgot, yeah, so.
I may not look like I'm listening, but I'm listening.
Ryan claims I made a motion off the second, so.
Sometimes I just zone off.
Carl motion, Jeannie seconded, you clarified.
All right,
Discussion started.
perfect.
Thank you.
I have a motion, I have a second. We had plenty of discussion. All those in favor? Year-end select board meeting schedule. Thank you, Brian, for.
Printed out this little helpful thing so I could try to keep track of the dates. There really aren't that many dates left. Next week, I don't feel like we're really ready to have any
No.
meeting next week or need to. The following week is Thanksgiving.
Isn't that?
Yes, next week.
Next
is
week,
the
that's select
Yeah,
board.
next week is as regional.
I'm going to, I'm gonna attend that
Okay.
next week.
So then December 4th, I need to ask for a special because the county forester, conservation commission and parks and rec would all like to come to discuss the integrated management plan and the forest management plan that the county forester has developed. Yes, so
Mhm.
that's like a presentation that they'll do.
Will they be forwarding that before the meeting so that I
I
can take a
will
look?
request that they do, yes.
So we could just piggyback the special meeting and carry over our next meeting until the 4th.
You could, or just say your second meeting of the month is canceled.
Oh.
It's,
I think we could go, I think honestly, Sarah, I don't see unless something really pops up. I don't think we have a whole bunch of business that needs to be transacted between now and December 11th.
The only thing we got on the 11th is our candidates for the committee.
Right, but that's just to name them off.
Right.
Not even doing anything.
Right,
just
I'm
naming
just
them.
saying, but that's the only thing.
Right, and,
Highlighted so far.
right, but I don't see a need for, I really and truly don't. We never do anything around Thanksgiving except for push things. to the next meeting.
Push things until December so that we can work on all in December.
That's right, so if we just stay with our schedule, so to speak, we come here the 4th for that, which is a very important meeting.
What time, by the way, are you thinking for that?
that we can. Up to the board, to 5 or 6.
What time would be best and optimal so we can have the most full papers? Looking about work schedules, like what works.
6 is good for me for showing up.
Okay.
All right, then let's stay with 6 o'clock on December 4th. December 11th will be a regularly scheduled meeting anyways.
Right.
And then the 18th, I'm hoping we could have a special budget meeting, because then we'll have to really be cranking out budget
Yep.
stuff.
Do
And
we
we
wanna-
wanna combine our regular 25th, December 25th meeting with that if there's business that needs to be discussed.
That's fine. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, special
If
budget.
if we have any pressing issues, if not, I'd like to just stay concentrated on budget and get
And
that.
we gotta get that budget done.
Agreed.
Yep.
You know, if there's a pressing issue, then we can certainly add it, but other than that, I don't.
Yeah, and if there's anything, that pops up, we can always pick a different day, but these are
Right.
Thursdays, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Wonderful.
That's
Moving.
the end of the year schedule.
Staff appreciation and incentive holiday gift discussion and possible action.
So just a formality, you usually allow me to do this every year. It's $50 for Thanksgiving. I take out of my expense line as a gift for everyone, and then for the holiday luncheon, we usually give out another 50 from a different store.
Great.
But because the monetary value is over my purchasing price, I just have to get permission.
Board's pleasure.
I'll make a motion that we allow Tara to move forward with the purchases.
I'll second that, sure.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I will say that, the two staff appreciation parties that we've had the last 2 years have been well received, by everybody. It's a great thing.
Can you remind me the date for that again? Now we
Yeah,
said we were gonna be the date,
Well, isn't it?
yes, I think it is the 12th.
December 12th.
There's so many December dates in my head right now. I'm like,
I know.
I don't know.
No. Okay, overnight parking on town property, continued discussion.
So I put this as continued discussion because we discussed it before and Joel had Chris put the signs up for us in different locations out here in this parking lot and then a couple other town properties. But since then, we've had, some campers show up around town. And the concern is that we could end up with campers on town property. And then what would we do? I mean,
I think it's a great idea. We kind of just slipped, that was kind of a last minute kind of discussion for some situations that happen here at the town office.
right, so now it's a little bit different, are the overnight parking signs sufficient? Could we have the sheriff remove people? Probably.
Right.
But do we need to make sure that it's like an ordinance to make sure we can remove people? I don't know what.
Do we also just kind of want to, maybe for just a bit, watch it and see what, like, instead of anticipating what's gonna be? I mean, I know that we had that issue, but I'm just wondering, we need to pass ordinances until we know that we need to pass some ordinances.
We could just stick with the signs.
I think the signs, people are.
Signs and make sure to do better, I shouldn't say better, do enforcement and then go from there. If it becomes a problem, then we go with the ordinance.
Right, and I think we need to expand a little bit. Possibly a little bit on the signage, right? I know we put one here. I believe there's one down at the warehouse.
Should be
Yeah, but if there isn't one down at the warehouse, there should be, I
a
believe.
lot of.
How that,
Yeah, there's almost always cars parked overnight down there now.
and I think we should have one at the Little League field.
All town properties.
All treatment facility?
I think
Yeah,
that's
from the road through the.
No, but you can park out in front of the gates.
Yeah, if we put some down around the
Because
warehouse.
that is still town property.
Yeah, I just think we expand to the town properties, easily accessible town
Because-
properties.
Mhm.
I used to see when I would drive around, my father, I would always see people parked down back on that trail.
I mean, eventually we're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna have to do the same thing. Which is gonna be a little tricky now that I think about it. On,
If you're gonna allow camping on the trail properties, people are gonna have to park overnight.
Right,
right, on Dean Road, if we're gonna allow camping up on the mountain, it's gonna be a little touch and go there.
well, we were talking about doing like a.
But that's,
permit.
I've got down the road, ideas on that, I've got some ideas.
That's down there, let's not make more problems.
But you don't, but you gotta think about this stuff.
Right.
But have we done the cemeteries?
Yes.
That was,
Just asking.
I mean, and I think, I do think like places where we're allowing camping. I think it is a little hard to distinguish and discriminate between people who are parking there to go up and camp in their tents and people who don't have necessarily their place to sleep. I mean, the reality is. Bennington, for example, will have an overnight emergency shelter this year. But the trigger for opening that is -10 degrees wind chill.
The code blue.
And it's like, and it's, I don't know that everyone knows that example, if they have nowhere else to be but their car, they can park at Walmart overnight and won't be chased off. Like,
But that's right.
right.
That's
So
right.
so I'm saying, and everybody knows that that's something that Walmart allows. It just is. Yeah, so I guess I'm just thinking about places like if we do allow camping.
We don't think.
We don't.
Right, with the town forest eventually.
That's what I'm just thinking. I'm just.
Yeah, we can-
Thinking if we do have places where we allow it for some things and not others, at that point, I think that's a problem.
Well, I guess.
But that's gonna be in a whole discussion about the uses for that up there. We haven't, I don't think we've gone that far yet, have we?
Yeah, but
Well, you'll.
something like that.
Well, the
Once we get the parking lot, I agree, well, that's what our next step will be.
I just think we need to make sure that we have them in places that are easily accessible for people who aren't. And have them marked with cemeteries for here, the Little League field, I'm a little concerned, you know, you got
Yeah.
kids running around.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
So in Strobridge, yeah, Strobridge, definitely.
Strawberry Park.
Yep.
That's right, down around the warehouse.
Yeah.
Those type of places. As long as we're signed there, I think we're okay.
Okay.
If we do find the problem, well, then we create
Then
an
we-
ordinance and we
Okay.
go from there.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. How about public comment, Hannah?
Yes, Jim has his hand up.
Unshare.
Excuse me.
You told Jim you can go because my cursor is pointing.
Like, I can see your cursor moving.
Yeah, we can't see us. It's not the usual view.
The participants can see you, but it's not working.
We can't see you. We can't see them.
Jim, do you want to talk?
Can you unmute them?
I can't do either, man.
That's what she was trying.
Anna's screen is frozen. He can even hear us.
Can you send something in the chat that you can read? If that's the only way we have for him to communicate.
Huh?
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're taking some of the pressure off the system.
Did you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you, Jim.
Okay, no problem. I mean, it's a whole new thing and I think it's great that I just see you guys and nothing else can pop up illegally. First of all, I hate to do this and bring back the old town office, but this tonight was maybe the first night that I've heard the word litigation regarding the old town office. I thought it was just litigation that was happening between the church property, the carriage house and the town. So my opinion, not to quote anyone else, is that, if we don't know who owns their property, there is no use in having a committee come in and make suggestions if the town may not own it. So I think knowing that there is a litigation and question and something is moving forward as to finding the whole property configuration of that whole area up there that may have moved too fastly before, but now we're on a good track of saying, let's just figure out what is happening up there, who owns what and everything that I personally, and since you didn't take a motion, I don't think the committee should continue until we know exactly who owns what property and where the boundary lines are and all of that. I hate to waste anyone's time sitting in a meeting to come up with suggestions and then come find out, well, the town doesn't own the property. So that's only my opinion. And I'm not going to go on further because we've discussed this way too long. Personally, I think the one remark about the exterminator was not very good. And I want to just say happy holidays, guys. Thanks.
Happy holidays.
Any other public comment, Hannah? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Tom, oh, hold on, Tom, did you? Okay, sorry, I know you were sitting here. Thank you.
I'll move that we adjourn the meeting, evening.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Thank you.